Welcome to Cybercreed, where today we dive headfirst into the glorious mess that is OpenAI's GPT 4.5. Yes, the latest brainchild that, surprise, surprise, seems to underwhelm more often than not. Spoiler alert, GPT 4.5 is so improved that if you blink, you'll miss the incremental changes that make it feel like an uninspired sequel no one asked for. Let's break it down. The benchmarks say GPT 4.5 outshines GPT 4 in every measurable way, because numbers don't lie, right? For instance, on the GPQA benchmark, which sounds impressively highbrow like something your overachieving cousin aced in school, GPT 4 scores a modest 53.6, while GPT 4.5 leaps to 71.4. Wow, can you feel the excitement? Except when you really peel back the layers, it turns out that models even more lightweight than GPT 4.5, like the EO3 mini model, yes, the oddly named one that sounds like a Swiss Army knife but barely qualifies as a tool, managed to score higher. So if you were expecting a revolutionary leap, prepare for a tiny hop instead. Now let's talk about math. GPT 4.5 clocks in at 36.7 on our math test. Again, apparently outperforming GPT 4. But thinking that means we're witnessing a paradigm shift toward reasoning models might be premature. It's more like pre-training has hit some kind of plateau, leaving us with flashy benchmarks that barely justify an upgrade. Take the comparison with CLA 3.7 Sonet. On GPQA, GPT 4.5 rocks a 71.4, while CLA 3.7 comes in at 68.0. Coding tests, GPT 4.5 shows off with 62% against 38% for CLA 3.7. Sure, it's better at these things, but does that really mean it's the model to crown? Not so fast. The kicker: OpenAI boasted that GPT 4.5 is the biggest model yet, a behemoth that's so resource-hungry it's practically exclusive to pro users because Plus subscribers would apparently melt their GPUs trying to run it. In other words, if you're not a high-rolling tech enthusiast, you're out of luck. And it gets better. Comparing it against industry heavyweights like DeepSeek v3, the numbers are a mixed bag. For coding benchmarks, DeepSeek v3 edges out GPT 4.5 in some areas while falling behind in others. It's the classic case of if you can't blame it on the numbers, blame it on the hype. OpenAI's marketing genius is in full swing, pushing GPT 4.5 as the ultimate tool for natural conversation. They even pulled a stunt where the model hesitates at direct insults because apparently saying "I hate you" is too uncool. But then, with a little nudge, it goes ahead and lets a few choice words fly. Think of it as a polite rebel. It's edgy but within bounds. According to early rave reviews on Twitter, some creative types are thrilled by its unpredictable gut instincts and street smarts. Yet for coding or serious tasks, it doesn't exactly inspire a standing ovation. And then there's pricing. GPT 4.5 is, wait for it, $75 per million tokens. Now, unless you've been sitting on a mountain of spare change, or you mistook a decimal point for tenfold improvement, that price might as well be a nudge to invest in deep reasoning elsewhere. OpenAI might be riding the brand prestige train with this one, possibly using GPT 4.5 as a foundation for a future model endowed with sauce, uncensored, more natural, maybe even capable of planning its own takeovers. But for now, it seems like an expensive stepping stone rather than the leap we've been promised. So what's the takeaway here? GPT 4.5 is not exactly the dazzling revolution that will change our lives overnight. Instead, it feels like a transitional model, one that's been hyped up to keep us entertained while the real heavyweights are quietly cooking up the next big thing. If you're someone who cares more about groundbreaking innovation than shiny benchmark numbers, you might want to hold off on embracing GPT 4.5 as your go-to model. After all, sometimes the best tool is the one that's just right for the job, even if it means ignoring the latest gadget in the shiny lineup. Happy prompting and see you in the next video on Cybercreed.